Jokic for the award. LeBron is averaging 25, 8, and 8 this year and is also shooting 40% from three-point range. So, Shannon, do you agree LeBron is the MVP right now?
Yeah, Skip, it's the season ended today, but we're at the quarter. We're at the two-thirds poll because we're 25 games in. There's 72 games, so we're about a third of the way through the season. 25, 8, and 8, the number two team, second best record in all of basketball, number two seed in the West behind the Jazz. Skip, AD has missed 4 games. AD hasn't been the offensive weapon that he was last year. He's still playing outstanding defense, but he's missed 4 games. And LeBron has had to carry a lot of the load. And you look at Embiid. Embiid has already missed 5 games. Jokic is playing unbelievable. But his team is 12 and 11. They're the 7th seed in the West. KD has already missed 8 games. And the Nets are 14 and 12. So if of the people, Joel Embiid, Jokic, Kevin Durant, Kawhi, I would say as we sit here right now, 25 games into the regular season, LeBron James is the MVP of the NBA.
And I am sorry, but I cannot see that. I did tell you a year ago, once the pandemic hit and this regular season seemed to be stopped at that point, I thought LeBron had earned the right to be the MVP. And so as we went into the sort of abbreviated finish in the bubble, I gave in and said I would have voted him MVP. I do not have an MVP vote. And Giannis won it again.
Right.
It's strictly regular season. It has nothing to do, obviously, with the postseason.
Correct.
Okay, so here are my issues so far with LeBron James. I'm going to say it again because this is it's still a fairly short body of work, but included in that body of work was that 7-game stretch that I brought up here on the show. It started with the January 7th home loss to the Spurs, and it ended with a January 18th home loss to Golden State. That's 7 straight fourth quarters or overtime or overtimes in which he shot 5 of 24. That's 21%. He shot 2 of 12 from 3. That's 17%. And 10 of 15 from the free throw line. That's 67%. And over those 7 fourth quarters plus an overtime, he was a -14. Well, that's not MVP caliber stats. Then Cleveland happened. And obviously the right-hand man the owner, Dan Gilbert, was sitting in the front row with very few people in the house, and he overclapped for a LeBron missed jumper at the end of the third quarter, and LeBron took it very personally, and he got mad. I always tell you, I love mad LeBron. I wish, for the Lakers' sake, they could put somebody in the front row every game to make him mad, because once he gets mad, he gets hot. And he scored 21 in the fourth quarter at Cleveland. So that's when he broke out of that slump. Okay. So now, what else do we see? We got free throw shooting. Again, it's like his fatal flaw. I don't get it, but he hasn't corrected it. So he's now shooting.
Shaq won an MVP, not shooting very good free throws.
But Shaq was 7 feet, what is he, 7'1"?
But the basket's not further away for a 6'9" guy than it is a 7'1" guy.
But if you're a 6'9" guy who plays point guard or 2 guard, but mostly point guard, you got to do better than 71.5% of your free throws, and that's actually pretty good for him, but it's not pretty good for basketball because he ranks 95th of 112 qualified free throw shooters in the league. Right now, he ranks 95th. Is that MVP?
Let me ask you a question. Of the 94 guys that's in front of him, who are you taking in front of him?
Okay, well, I'll take Joel Embiid, who did it again. What was he last night? 13 of 14 at Sacramento. Yeah. I watched the whole game.
6 of 15 from the floor.
Just because I couldn't take my eyes off Joel Embiid. He's a monster.
Yeah.
And again, can he stay healthy? I don't know.
He's already missed 5 games.
I got it. I give you that. But when he plays, he is playing like he's on another planet. And I love what Daryl Morey said, his new GM in Philadelphia. He said, Joel is in the rare group of players in NBA history where most of the time when you watch him, you're wondering if there's a higher level of basketball league he can be promoted to.
Stop it.
As he has an unfair advantage in this league.
No, he doesn't. Skip. Okay. Joel Embiid is playing great, but stop.
Hey.
So let me ask you a question. Is he playing at a level that stretch that Shaq went through? So Shaq had a 5-year window. Is Joel Embiid playing at that level?
No, but Shaq is retired. He's not playing right now.
That's what I'm saying. So that level that he's talking, Skip, come on.
But compared to LeBron, I would say Joel's having a better year than LeBron.
But see, here's the thing, what you did. If you want to, Skip, I'm sure I can go in there and I can look at games and nitpick Joel Embiid's game, and I can nitpick Nikola Jokic's game, or Kevin Durant or Kawhi. We can nitpick all we want to, but you look at the totality, the body of work, 25, 8, and 8. is 25-8-8, the second best record through all that. So why isn't Joel Embiid's record better than what it is then?
Well, they've had the best record in the East most of the year.
That's not saying anything.
Okay, well, it's saying something.
Oh, now it's saying something. When LeBron had the best record in the East, it was saying nothing. It was the least in conference. Now Joel Embiid is there. It's the monsters of the Midway.
What is he up now? He's 86% from the free throw line?
I'll skip. All I'm
He's
saying.
7 feet tall and he's 86%.
All I'm saying is that when LeBron was in the East never had it. Kevin Durant's in the East now. Joel Embiid. And everybody's talking about the East. But when LeBron was there, it was the least in conference. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. When did it become so strong?
Well, DeMar DeRozan went to the Spurs, right? And it used to be he got to play DeMar DeRozan. He got to play Paul George when he was the alpha in Indy. And he's now the co-star, the second star.
He's still busting heads.
Clippers. Okay.
He's still busting heads in the West.
Yeah.
That's what we do, Skip.
He couldn't bust the Heat's head.
We did it.
Right.
Yeah, we did. We did the number on the Heat. Just what we did to the Heat in the bubble.
Yeah.
And they hadn't recovered yet.
They were the 5th seed.
They haven't recovered
and
yet.
They lost their 2 best players in the playoffs in Game 1.
I know a 5th seed that just won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
The 5th seed. So don't give me nothing about no seed. My guy says seed, mustard seed, pumpkin seed, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Get him in the playoffs, it's a title.
So Patrick Mahomes got to play the 5th seed, and he lost. That doesn't speak well of Patrick Mahomes.
Skip, you know seed, that's just seeding. It doesn't matter. So I'm just trying to figure out, if Brady's there, if this was historically so great, why the hell wasn't there a 5th seed? Why would you the 1 seed? Why would you 14-2? Why would you 15-1?
He took over a brand new team in the middle of a pandemic.
You see what you did?
Well, he did with no preseason games.
Okay.
That's why it took a while to figure it out.
So let me ask you a question. How long did Joel Embiid play in the bubble last year? How long did Kevin Durant play in the bubble? Oh, my bad, he didn't play at all in the bubble. How long did Kawhi stay in the bubble? My guy finished all the way through, played in June, and then 71 days later, he back at it again.
By the way, I'm glad you brought up Kevin Durant. Without COVID interfering, he'd be right in the thick of this.
Yeah, Skip, we're just saying 25 games in. When it's all said and done, this thing might flip several more times. But as we speak right now, it's hard to say somebody deserves it more than LeBron James based on his body of work.
I'm picking nits, but they're gigantic nits that I'm picking right now because...
What's Joel Embiid shooting from the 3?
Well, guess what? Back to LeBron James before we get there. Guess who is number 2 in turnovers in the NBA? The runaway MVP candidate, LeBron James.
So that's never happened.
Okay. Well, he's number 2 in turnovers to guess who? Luka.
Guess what? If I'm not mistaken, I feel very comfortable in saying that James Harden and Russ won MVPs leading the league in turnovers. I feel very comfortable in saying that. Now, I could be wrong, but I feel very comfortable in saying it.
Okay. You could be wrong. I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
We could check on that.
We're going to check.
But they won MVPs averaging triple-doubles and leading the league in scoring.
And going where? So which one had the number 1 seed? Which one had the number 2 seed? Was any of those guys?
I thought that doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. Well, so that's what they said it mattered with Giannis. That's why they gave it to him. Remember?
Yeah, but James is leading the league in scoring in winning MVP and leading the league in assists.
And what did it get him?
Well, nowhere, but that's not what the award is voted on.
Okay, so it's not voted on free throw percentage. It's not voted on fourth quarters. It's voted on totality. You take all of that. Even though Skip, we're going to talk about 7 games. He made it seem like it was 70 games.
That's what, almost a third of the year.
How many of those games did they lose? You said it was 7 games.
It began with a home loss to the Spurs and ended with a home loss to Golden State, and they have not been very good at home. What are they up to now, like 6-4? What are they?
Consider they only lost 6 games. They've only lost 2 on the road, so they only lost 4 games.
Okay.
So that looked pretty good to me. How many have the Nets lost at home?
Well, this is about LeBron James.
Well, you mentioned KD.
I know, but you can't change the subject because we're talking about LeBron has been voted by media.
25-8-8.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking of Kevin Durant, remember when he called many of the media members who cover LeBron, remember what he called them?
Yeah.
Fanboys.
Yeah, the same ones that voted for him. So when they voted for him for the MVP, what were they?
I guess they grudgingly voted.
No, they grudgingly. You see what you do? You see? You bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah.
He never said anything about the media didn't know bleep when they voted him for the MVP. Now, all of a sudden, they fanboys. They don't know bleep. Wow. They sure forgot a lot of basketball because they voted his buddy MVP in 2014. They knew everything.
Okay. So the 25-game MVP, LeBron James, also in his last 2 home games has missed the final shot of regulation in both of them.
Did he win?
Yep.
I know Kevin Durant missed the final shot. You remember Kevin Durant clanked it? You ain't say a word.
Well, this is the MVP, and he missed back-to-back at home against bad teams. Back-to-back.
Bad teams.
Detroit, Oklahoma City.
So let me ask you a question. Are the Cavaliers a good team? Because they beat all 3 of the big 3 in Brooklyn. Are they a bad team or a good team?
Okay.
Are they going to the playoffs?
And your point is?
Okay, all these guys, Skip, every team has had a bad loss. It's hard to get up and play at that level every single night.
Okay.
But that guy does it better than any of the guys that we mentioned.
Well, he's coming off a game in which he shot 2 of 10 from 3 against Oklahoma City. Maybe he'll right that wrong tonight. I don't know.
Are you right it wrong with a triple-dub? Are you right it wrong with a triple-dub?
Yep.
They were down by 11 points in the 4th quarter. And what did he do? Skip the last 3 minutes. Score 7. Get it tied up. Get into overtime. And then what did he do, Skip? What did he do? Yeah, that's what he did. He made him have to say, made him say masterpiece. That 9-9.
Overtime, could have avoided 2 overtimes against Detroit and 1 against Oklahoma. Abbreviated finish in the bubble. I gave in and said I would have voted him MVP. I do not have an MVP vote, and Giannis won it again.
Right.
It's strictly regular season. It has nothing to do, obviously, with the postseason.
Correct.
Okay, so here are my issues so far with LeBron James. I'm going to say it again because this is it's still a fairly short body of work, but included in that body of work was that 7-game stretch that I brought up here on